of a button. Before she reached it, the beast from the forest emerged. "Violet?" Megan said. Fear gave way to embarrassment at her overreaction, but that was quickly replaced by annoyance. She stowed the card from Hogan into her pocket, told Recluse to stay, and stalked across an icy expanse of snow to reach the woman. "You're not supposed to go in the woods alone at night. We've talked about this. If you need to use the bathroom—" "I know," Violet said, waving her off. Violet was tall, willowy, and blonde, with refined features and a delicate way about her. Megan was just as tall and nearly as blonde, but willowy or refined would never be used to describe her. Of the women in the group, Violet was the only one who wasn't coming directly from an abusive home. They're instead doing research for her dissertation on the long-term impact of fear on women in abusive relationships. Speaking from experience, Megan could have told her exactly what the long-term impact of fear was. It wasn't good. "I didn't want to go, but I was looking for Gabby and Ava," Violet continued. "Gabby wasn't feeling well, so the two went together to use the bathroom. I fell asleep. When I woke up, it didn't look like either of them ever came back." Megan thought quickly, immediately concerned. Ava was a Cuban-American woman who'd recently taken her 3 sons and fled Miami, running from a violent husband who, according to her, had ties to the mob. Gabby was a model originally from Spain who had moved to the U.S. with her husband, a well-known and highly paid quarterback with the NFL. As it turned out, a quarterback with anger issues and little to no impulse control. Neither Ava nor Gabby spoke fluent English, but had arrived on the expedition determined to make it through. Surviving winter in Maine was hardly a skill set in either of their repertoires, however. "What time did they go?" Megan asked Violet. 11:10, Violet said without hesitation. "I looked at my clock because I was thinking that I hoped I wouldn't have a hard time getting back to sleep. Big day tomorrow and all." "Right," Megan said hollowly. Violet was scheduled to drive the dog sled in the morning. The group was led by Megan and her sister Heather, but there was only one sled for the lot of them. That meant Megan and 2 different students manned the sled each day, while Heather led the other 6 women on cross-country skis. It was Violet's turn at the helm tomorrow, something Megan knew she'd been looking forward to. On the horizon, the moon hung high over Old Speck, the highest peak in Maine's Mahoosuc Mountains. Megan surveyed the area, aware of Recluse watching her. The rest of the dogs were raucous, sensing that something was up. At the noise, the other women had started to emerge from their tents. "Go get suited up," Megan told Violet. "I'll get Heather, and we'll start searching." Violet nodded. She and Megan had been best friends since college, and Megan had always admired her cool head. Violet didn't look like the kind of woman who could handle a crisis, but as a social worker in inner-city D.C., Megan had seen her do exactly that more than once. She looked spooked now, though, like this was somehow bigger than a couple of people in their group simply wandering off. Which it wasn't, Megan told herself firmly. They would find Ava and Gabby. The women weren't idiots. They wouldn't have gone far. Megan went back to their tent to wake her sister, already formulating a plan. Find Gabby and Ava, get another few hours of sleep, make breakfast, hit the trail. Simple as pie. Right. "What do you mean they're gone?" Heather asked wearily, after Megan had given her the story of the women's disappearance. Heather rubbed her eyes, clearly disoriented. 3 years younger than Megan, Heather had always been the cute one of the sisters. Both had curly blonde hair and freckles, but Heather was slender, while Megan had more curves than she knew what to do with. Given a choice between the two,